2024. I'm gonna do my review for WWE Smackdown and AEW. I couldn't do it yesterday because the preview was too late. So, my review, we're gonna talk about what happened on Friday Night Smackdown. We will go to what happened on Smackdown, and we will talk about AEW All Out, the pay-per review. It's Heyman's house now. SmackDown final show on Fox Sports. Next week will be on USA Network. So we will talk about that. We got the news and rumors. RC Jones fired at WWE. Wrestling Aftermath. Just want you guys to know, hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about this video. I'll make this like an hour and 20 minutes. See how long it'll make. We're gonna go through what happened on SmackDown tonight. Wait, is this right? SmackDown wasn't all that kind of boring. There was nothing here. Everything was very filler. The only thing that matters on this show is the bloodline. Without Roman Reigns, SmackDown is pretty much worthless and a waste. Nothing mattered on this damn show. Now, the only thing that they really made a big deal was Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa. Cody Rhodes solo challenged Cody Rhodes to a steel cage match for the on USA Network next week on SmackDown. Because SmackDown's on USA Network. It's not coming out anymore, like I said. It's on USA Network. So he'll defend the WWE title against Solo in a steel cage match next week on SmackDown. So something big had to happen. It had to be, maybe we'll see Roman Reigns, maybe The Rock, maybe Randy Orton will turn heel. Because what is Cody Rhodes doing at Bad Blood? He's not gonna wrestle Solo again. That's not gonna happen. The match wasn't that good at SummerSlam, and there's no reason to drag out their feud again. Cody Rhodes had to move on to a big challenger, a credible threat. Hopefully. But yeah, that was the opening segment for this show. After that, this show was pretty much filler, non-existent. We had Bayley defeat Tiffany Stratton after Nia Jax interferes fail. Bayley picks up the win. We got the debut of Giovanni Vinci. Yeah, after the great vignettes and the promo that he cut last week, he made his debut. He has a terrible theme music. He gets rolled up and pinned less than 10 seconds by Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews, who's been in catering all this time, finally gets a victory. Giovanni Vinci been in catering, but he loses it under 10 seconds. An embarrassment. The entrance that they gave him sucked. And Giovanni Vinci is a very good wrestler. He's very talented. Kevin Owens suffers a post-match beatdown after defeating A-Town Down Under. Was this a handicap match? He beat him in a handicap match, and then they beat him up after. We did get a decent segment with LA Knight, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes. They did show a promo package for Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. They had some pretty good matches. And then they had like 4 matches 4 weeks in a row. They are going to get a 5th match, I think, next week. And the winner will face a LA Knight for the United States Championship. So the mid-card is alright. Carmelo Hayes and Andrade are 2 fantastic wrestlers. They've been going back and forth. They're great. We did get a great back and forth here. They could be setting up Andrade and LA Knight. Or maybe Carmelo Hayes, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that was that segment. Piper Niven helped Chelsea Green steal a win from Michin. The match was like what, less than 5 minutes? Very filler. Chelsea Green's heat being pushed. Michin, she's not going anywhere. Giovanni Vinci focuses anger on Apollo Crews. Chelsea Green feared Michin equalizer. The main event was the Bloodline conquering the Street Profits and DIY. The Bloodline was dominated. They retained. Cody Rhodes offered Jacob Fatu a championship opportunity. Cody Rhodes was ahead of steel case match. Why the Creed Brothers are made, American made. Really, like that's all we got on SmackDown, really. Outside the bloodline and Cody Rhodes, even Cody Rhodes, a lot of people think his title reign getting boring, it's getting stale. There's nothing interesting about it. He hadn't had any credible challengers. The only legit challenger that was credible was AJ Styles. Logan Paul, they actually it was a filler feud for Saudi Arabia because they wanted Logan Paul on the show. He wasn't a credible threat. Soldier Cole wasn't a credible threat. The match they had someone that wasn't that good. It was all the hype up. Roman Reigns returned. Kevin Owens wasn't an incredible threat. That was a filler feud for Bad Berlin. It was just a one-off. Kevin Owens then turned heel, and he's not getting a rematch against Cody Rhodes. That happened, especially when he lost clean, and he shook Cody with his hand and gave him and showed him sportsmanship. So who is up next for Cody Rhodes? Will we see The Rock? Now Cody Rhodes had to defend it at Bad Blood. He been on the commercials for the pay per view to hype it up, and they're in Atlanta, Georgia, which is Cody's hometown. So you know his family's gonna be there. Mama Rose is gonna be there. Maybe we have to have a big, legit challenger. Now it has to be a personal feud. Maybe The Rock, because Bad Blood is a pay per view for the most personal feud, the most heated rivalry, like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, Gunther and Sami Zayn, popularly. The Rock and Cody Rhodes. If The Rock gonna come back and wrestle, it does make sense to be a Bad Blood. The Rock did say on the Road to Mania, our story had just begun. The Rock gonna be coming for Cody Rhodes. Bad Blood, the perfect pay-per-view, it made sense. Because based on how personal that the feud was at WrestleMania, how personal, how here the rivalry was in that tag team match, how The Rock and Cody Rhodes went back and forth with their promos, everything that The Rock did, making him bleed, talk about his mom, whooping him with the weight belt, it does make sense. Now they could choose Randy Orton, but I don't think they want to rush Randy Orton. I think it's a long-term feud. I think there's a way on that, and it should be when time is right. They could do that at Crown Jewels or Survivor Series, because that's a long-term feud. At least that feud should be. It should be a feud that should go like 3 months. They have a couple matches. It should be very personal, very heated. They have a great story. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be Randy Orton or The Rock. I'm not sure who it's gonna be. It's not gonna be Roman Reigns. It's not gonna be Solo again. Maybe Jacob Fatu, but I don't want to see that. We shouldn't want Jacob Fatu in a championship match. He's not beating Cody Rhodes. Yeah. Um. Now that's Beth and Berlin. That was Monday Night Raw. I already did Monday Night Raw. Um. Now this is NXT. I'm not sure if I did a review of NXT. I don't think I did. Chelsea Green paid the price for interfering in the NXT Women's title. She on NXT. Roxanne Perez, Obi, Trick Williams, mad against Pete Dunne, descends into chaos. Alright. Now let me just show. Now Smackdown can be pretty quick. I'm just gonna do the review very, very quick. Alright. Now, my video was sponsored by my favorite podcaster, JD from New York, and also Salamat the Sound Off, Fightful Pro Wrestling, Good My Work Commentary, Just Alex Post Wrestling, and No DQ. Those are all the podcasters that do wrestling reviews. Ah, well, this might take too long, so I think part doesn't matter. You know what? Hold on. Well, actually, 1 minute, or maybe, well, actually, it might take too long. So, okay. I think this is good. Hold on for a second. With my big wide rewards. That's a point. Hold on for a second. I have to actually want to show you guys the other podcasters and the other YouTubers. Just give me a couple seconds here. Oh, all right. This should be easy. I said you cannot do this match between Solo Sikoa and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship in Atlanta at Bad Blood. And that's exactly what they are not going to do. So already off to a good start. WWE threw it out there that, and social media picked it up, these fake journalists or these wannabe journalists in the community who think they break news, but let's be real, people like me, creators like us, we're way ahead of the curve, man, because we're way too fucking intelligent for these fake journalists and wannabe journalists who want to put out this news and set their name to it. Hey, this was reported by us at such and such a date. No, motherfucker. We've been talking about this shit for fucking weeks. Oh, the rumored Hell in a Cell match is gonna be CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Oh, the rumored main event for Survivor Series is gonna be Bloodline versus Bloodline. No fucking shit, motherfucker. We've been talking about it for months. Give me a fucking break with this shit. Just like we talked about this for weeks. Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa next week on Friday Night Smackdown. This time inside Hell. Not Hell in a Cell. Might as well. Who gives a fuck? Steel Cage. I got Hell in a Cell on my man. I'm excited about Punk and McIntyre and the whole fucking show, to be quite honest with you. Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa WWE Championship. Steel Cage. Next week in Seattle. Premiere on the USA Network for Friday Night Smackdown. Love it. Absolutely love it. They're giving you a stipulation because we got a Bloodline Rules match, which was awful at SummerSlam. It went nowhere. They didn't even get to the Bloodline Rules match until 15 minutes in. And then that's when everybody kind of realized, oh, Roman Reigns is coming out. No shit. So they were not going to follow up. They could not follow up with a one-on-one match at the pay-per-view. You're not going to put it inside a Hell in a Cell. You're not going to do a steel cage match at Bad Blood when there's going to be a Hell in a Cell, man. It's going to look inferior to everything else on the show. What they're doing next week is the right call. It is the right decision. Solo Sikoa and Cody Rhodes. You guys are souring on Cody Rhodes. I know it. I see it. I feel it. I understand it. I do.
and Solo Sikoa. Does anybody believe Solo Sikoa is worthy of a WWE championship? No. Now, he's the Bloodline's bitch at the end of the day. He's done well. I don't want to sit here and take that away from him. He's done well in the absence of Roman. But what we're going to do next week is very, very simple. Cody Rhodes will retain the WWE Championship. He will have help. Roman will have backup. We will start the seeds being planted for Survivor Series inside War Games. Roman will be there after he was advertised and then he was pulled from the advertisements and now he's back on the advertisements. They want you to know he's there. He's going to be there. And then that's when we get Roman versus Solo at Bad Blood, one-on-one. That's the plan. Now, if we don't get Roman and Solo, I'd be shocked. That's what I would do. And then that leads to War Games. But that's the plan. That's what they're going to do. That's the best decision. That's the best course of action here. Now, I don't know what happens with KO. I don't know what happens with Randy Orton. We didn't see Randy Orton tonight, conspicuous by his absence. We don't know what Cody Rhodes does at Bad Blood. He's in the advertisements. He's in the vignettes. It's his hometown in Atlanta. I'm assuming he's going to be on the show. In what form, in what capacity is Cody Rhodes going to be on the show? Is he going to defend the WWE Championship? I would think so. It's a pretty big fucking show. We're celebrating Hell in a Cell for the first time, the anniversary of Hell in a Cell, back in Atlanta, back in the same venue, 1997. Why is Cody Rhodes not going to be on this show defending the WWE Championship? Against whom will it be? Will it be Kevin Owens? Is Kevin Owens going heel next week? I don't know. You can make a case for him going heel. Look what he did tonight. He's wrestling fucking Austin Theory and Grayson Waller basically in a handicap match. Is he going heel next week? Or is it Randy, who we did not see tonight, and Randy's going heel? I think I pulled the trigger on Randy. I don't know. Do you want to do Roman's return and a Randy heel turn next week on Friday Night Smackdown? That's basically busting your load twice. Enjoy it, man. Savor it. Why do we got to waste both on Friday Night Smackdown next week? I don't know. It's not what I would do. But the decision to make Cody and Solo next week inside a steel cage was great. And the fact that we're getting the match next week and not at Bad Blood was one that was absolutely imperative to Cody Rhodes and what he does next. After he beats Solo, I don't give a shit what they are planning. It better be rich, fruitful, and fulfilling with story. Cody has had this run of great wrestling matches, don't get me wrong. But Cody, one of the greatest storytellers in the business, has been hampered down with mediocrity as far as storytelling, and you're relying on him to basically navigate these seas until Dwayne decides to show back up. We need something of substance. Enough is enough. Stop with the bullshit. After this, it's over. And I want to throw this out there. It might not be Cody wrestling KO or Randy Orton. It might not be Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa at Bad Blood. We may end up getting, because Drew McIntyre and CM Punk absolutely should be the main event of Bad Blood inside Hell in a Cell, if that's going to be the only Hell in a Cell. Cody might not be defending the title against anybody, and Roman might not be going one-on-one with Solo. We may get Roman and Cody tagging up against Solo and Jacob Fatu, because Cody wanted Jacob Fatu tonight, not Solo. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. Throwing it out there. We don't know. We don't know. It's a great way to get Cody out of a rushed feud with Randy. It's a great way to get Cody to not wrestle KO again, because I don't know if they want to turn KO. But then he gets Cody and Roman on Bad Blood. And then we get Jacob Fatu added to the mix. Just saying. Just saying. Giovanni Vinci. How we go from Cody, Roman, Bad Blood to Giovanni Vinci. Yes. Giovanni Vinci. One of the best pound for pound pro wrestlers in all of WWE. The guy is fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal. He made his debut tonight after they kept him in catering for weeks, months. Following the WWE draft, they split him from Imperium. Gunther's the World Heavyweight Champion. Kaiser's doing his thing on Monday night. They are still Imperium. They are still together for now. And Vinci was cast off to the unknown. He got swallowed up by Titus Catering. Where is he? Why isn't he being used? This is a talented guy just wasting away on WWE television. Or in this case, not on WWE television, in catering. They run 3 weeks of vignettes for Giovanni Vinci. He's wearing fancy suits. He's wearing Patek Philippe's. He's driving fancy sports cars. He's got any woman he wants on the face of the fucking earth. He's got a fancy goatee. He's nice and bold. You women like the bold guys. I know. I'm going there eventually. But they got this guy and this whole new gimmick, this character, the vignettes, the video packages. They're making him out to be
Hold on, there's commercials here. We'll see if I can skip these commercials and we'll get right back into the video. I actually hate these damn commercials, man. They get on my goddamn nerves. Shouldn't we really like skip it? The hell? Takes so goddamn long. Alright, let's get back into it.
not a big deal, but someone that you should keep an eye out for. We finally get to Friday Night Smackdown tonight. He shows up. We got AI theme music from Def Rebel. I guess most of Def Rebel are deaf because whatever fucking song they sent them out there with was fucking absolutely garbage.
Exactly.
Do they listen to what they churn out in the studio? Really?
They don't care.
Who the fuck is working there? Who is Def Rebel?
I know, right?
If that's what you constitute as theme music for a professional wrestler, you guys should quit altogether making music for anybody. Never mind WWE. Awful. Absolutely fucking offensive to the ears. On most of these theme musics. It's the one side of WWE production that needs a complete overhaul. 100%. What are we doing? Garbage. So right off the bat, this guy's fighting from behind. He's making the most of it. He's out there. He's smiling. He's coming to the ring. He's all suave. He's trying to act cool. We got a pretty lady front row giving him a kiss on the cheek. He's a ladies' man. He's the Italian stud, right? Plus, he can wrestle, which is the most important thing. He's got the gimmick. He's got the look, and he wrestles. How does he cut a promo? I don't know. But he gets in the ring. He's showboating. He's gallivanting in the ring. He's slow to take his fucking jacket off. Bell rings. Apollo Crews is getting impatient. And this guy was treated like a sack of fucking dog shit on Friday Night Smackdown. How do you send this guy out there to lose in 3 seconds after we've seen 3 weeks of vignette hyping up his eventual, finally, debut? How the fuck did that make it past quality control in WWE? How? You mean to tell me that nobody saw this on the script and said, hey man, this guy ain't the type of guy that we should be burying in 3 seconds. I think we need a rewrite on this particular segment. That's what you do to up and coming stars. I thought we were in the business to make stars. I thought we were in the business to elevate stars. Would you do this to Kaiser? That's my fucking question. Would you do that to Ludwig Kaiser on Monday Night Raw now that he's aligned with Gunther? No, the answer is no. You would not. No, but it's okay for Giovanni Vinci to get the fucking shaft because he doesn't have Gunther as the world
First of all, these
heavyweight
titles have not been defended since WrestleMania. You know what? I don't even count.
Then I got fucking low IQ fucking idiots
Elimination Chamber.
on social media.
Elimination Chamber. No.
Give it a chance, JD.
Because they
Give
don't
what a
use...
chance. Oh, I see where they're going
First of all, the
with
tag team
this.
title already
It's gonna be part of his.
First of all, the tag team title is nothing that we're been because they haven't done the action.
Part of his character? What the fuck is part of his character? A fucking loser? A loser? What woman's gonna want to be with a fucking loser? How do you depict it? For 3 weeks coming out of fancy cars, wearing the $50,000 fucking Patrick Philippe, fucking all dressed fits. He's got more on his person than people have in their fucking bank account. And that's how you treat him? That's how you treat us? I'm trying to figure out why there was such a disconnect. Oh, let it play out, JD. Let it play out. First impressions are everything, motherfucker. You look at Giovanni Vinci tonight in 3 seconds. You want to see him again?
I know I don't.
3 seconds to Apollo fucking Crews.
Yeah. Hadn't he been losing? He's also been in catering.
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, bro, we booked your flight to Calgary, wherever the fuck they were tonight. Yeah, we're gonna have you in a segment tonight. You're making your debut. Yeah, 3 seconds. Thanks for coming. That's what you fly me out to fucking Calgary for, to lose to this fucking schmuck who's been in fucking purgatory for the last fucking 10 years.
During the pandemic. I carried the mid card in the pandemic.
It's great.
Wrestled Bobby Lashley in the Hurt Business.
Unbelievable. Let it play out.
It
Says the fucking fat slob on social media. Fucking play these balls out, motherfucker. Let it play out. Fucking deplorable. It's absolutely deplorable. It's embarrassing. No, we're gonna let it play out. What? So he loses again next week after he can't take his fucking pants off?
Big E.
Yeah, we'll start with the jacket. All right. Now the pants. All right, yeah. All right, the third time. Is he gonna win? WrestleVotes even put this fucking tweet out. I'm told there are a few key figures within creative that absolutely hated the direction of the Giovanni Vinci angle tonight. Really? Who are these key figures, Bruce? If key figures within creative, key is the word here. If key figures hated this, if they didn't approve of this before it aired, why the fuck was it on TV? How did it slip? Through quality control. Nobody saw this as deplorable, but they let it air on TV anyway. What are you going for? Sympathy? Oh, yeah, people will remember him from last week. He's the guy that lost in 3 seconds. Yeah, he's the fucking loser. No, he wasn't remembered for his great in-ring ability. 2 guys that can actually fucking wrestle here. Both in Cruz and Vinci. No, we won't let them wrestle. He'll do a striptease and then lose in 3 seconds. Is Vince shadow booking the fucking show? Did he somehow slip through the fucking cracks? Did Bruce have a private meeting via fucking Zoom? Ah, you know what I need, pal? I got the documentary out. Let me get one last laugh, pal. You fucking serious? Garbage. I'll give the fucking show a thumbs down just for that. Now that I got that out of my system, I'm gonna rant about that later. We'll see what they do with him next week, if he even makes it on the fucking show. We'll also talk LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade for the United States Championship. Gee, I wonder who called that one 5 weeks ago. Can't wait for fucking wannabe journalists to say, oh, I broke this news. Yeah, motherfucker. I've been saying this for the last 5 weeks.
And that's it.
Tonight, sponsored by my great friends over at DraftKings tonight. The NFL season has already begun. If you guys watched Thursday Night Football, you guys
and then we had
would have seen a great game. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I was at House of Glory in Chicago last night. I heard it was a good game. Heard it was a good game. Tonight,
first of all,
I believe the Eagles and Packers are where? They're in Brazil. They're in Brazil. Football season officially began, and it's going to bleed into the weekend, guys. And tonight, DraftKings is sponsoring the show. If you sign up using my link,
obsessed with my result.
Alright, hold on. I gotta wait for the commercial to be over with.
Cody's in the ring. Edmonton, Alberta. That's where they were, not Calgary. Edmonton, Alberta. What do you want to talk about? Cody Rhodes. What do you want to talk about? He noted it was an extremely big crowd. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Compared to AEW Collision, I'm sure it was vast in number. He says he had a hell of an outing against Canada's own Kevin Owens. Fans started to chant for KO. He says he didn't get to do it last week due to the language barrier. He welcomed Michael Cole back to SmackDown. Michael Cole will call SmackDown his home for the next 4 months or so until Pat McAfee gets back from college football and then Monday Night Raw moves to Netflix. So, he says he's been around long enough to expect an interruption. Yeah, thanks for telegraphing that for us, Cody. I appreciate it, man. He initiated an invite to the Bloodline to come on out. And that's exactly what they do. Solo is led by Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tangaloa, the WWE Tag Team Champions. So Solo gets into the ring, fans are booing, said, well, I'm happy to see you guys too. I don't think anybody's happy to see Solo. He asks Cody if he's done playing around. He asks if he's ready to defend his title against a real challenger like me. He asks if he's ready to defend his title. And everybody, he said, knows he could have been champion at SummerSlam, but it was because of that Roman Reigns. It's because of Roman Reigns. So I deserve a rematch. He said the season premiere of SmackDown is next week. Cody says, well, we should feature a WWE Championship match then. We want Roman chants rang loudly out in Edmonton. Cody said the number one contender in his book stepped outside the shadow of the Tribal Chief, so he deserves a title match. I'm not talking to you, he says to Solo Sikoa. He looks over at Jacob Fatu and he tells Jacob Fatu to step up. Fans start chanting, step up, step up. Solo stared at Fatu, had a few off-mic words for him. Did not hear what he said.
Too bad.
Jacob then hangs out on the apron for a little bit, confused about what to do. He wants to do it. Solo is yapping off at him. And then he eventually, after a little bit, Jacob yells, I love you! You are my tribal chief! Puts his hands together, jumps off the apron, and Cody says, I guess it was worth a shot, right? I'm crazy to want to wrestle any of you. Cody told Solo he indeed gets better every day. He held up his belt and said WWE revolves around it. He said someday he might look up at those lights courtesy of that iron thumb of yours, but it sure as hell won't be next week. Solo told Cody, I can see what you're doing. You're looking to turn Jacob Fatu against me. sort of looked like Jacob wanted to do, honestly, because he took a little bit to ponder Cody's offer there. That might be a seed being planted for what happens in the 5th or 6th inning of this Bloodline Civil War. He told them he's on, but they don't need to wait until next week. Cody took off his jacket, the rest of the Bloodline into the ring. Cody's got back up. Street Profits and DIY. They were all quickly there. I don't know where the fuck they came from. It's like they were waiting in queue somewhere. They apparently got into the ring. They were all dressed in their ring gear, and they were ready to back up Cody. Cody had the one-man advantage here. It was 5 against 4 against the Bloodline. Nick Aldis comes out, told them all to calm down. He entered the ring and says they can tear each other apart tonight in an 8-man tag team match in the main event, but not a moment sooner. He said next week Cody will defend against Solo. The Bloodline numbers thing is getting old. He says it's bad for business, so he's got a solution that's good for business. He said the match will be inside a steel cage. And that is it. We got our steel cage match. We got our Roman Reigns return next week. Steel cage matches never leave the participants that are on the outside. They never leave them on the outside. They are always somehow factored to inside the ring. Whether it's over the top of the cage or the door or some dumb referee gets knocked out and somebody unlocks the door and we get something happening through that means, Roman Reigns will equalize what's happening to Cody Rhodes and he will neutralize the Bloodline. Roman's not going to do it himself, though. I could see Jimmy Uso coming back. I could see the rest of whoever backed up Cody getting involved. We got KO and Randy. We got numbers here. We got numbers. But whose number will be called upon?
Well, don't worry.
But I could absolutely see Roman Reigns getting involved next week. I could see Jimmy getting involved next week. And like I said in the open, this is the right decision for this match to be taking place next week on Friday Night Smackdown and not at Bad Blood.
Next week on
Not at Bad Blood. The Solo Sikoa and Cody Rhodes is not
I can't wait to
a
see
main event pay-per-view match. It wasn't at SummerSlam. It won't be at Bad Blood. No way. And the idea right now of this taking place opens up Cody Rhodes to defend that title against whom? I don't know. He might not defend the title at Bad Blood. Do we see KO get involved? Maybe he turns heel next week. Do we get Cody and KO too at Bad Blood? I don't think that's the road that they're going to take. It's not the one I would ride down, but it's a possibility. KO, probably beneficial for him to go here. There's nothing going on there. He's got nothing of importance coming his way on Friday Night SmackDown in the position that he sits in right now. There's Randy Orton turn heel next week. Again, it's a possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I expect it to happen at some point. But is it going to happen next week? If Roman's coming back next week, do we do Roman returning and Randy turning on Cody? Might be WWE busting their load a little bit too soon. We don't need that to happen. Though I do expect it. Plus, you look at a feud like Cody and Randy. If that happens next week, is there enough time between that show next week and Bad Blood to warrant the first match between Cody and Randy at Bad Blood? I think that may be the biggest question of them all. Does it warrant a match that soon? Randy turns next week, we do the first match at Bad Blood. Instead of it being something that lingers for weeks, and then we get a match. Or, none of this happens. Cody teams with Roman, and they go against Solo and Jacob Button, which is a high probability of happening. But we could see that take place as well. But those are the three options. Solo and Cody not taking place at the pay-per-view, which is a great decision. Inside a steel cage makes it even better, and all the more reason for Roman to make a return. Steel cage, no rules. It's going to be chaos next week. You're going to get people returning. You're going to get fucking people involved. That's what they want. That's what they're going for. And that's what you're getting next week. Very, very sound decision creatively for WWE. Backstage. Pretty dead. This is a first-time match here for Smackdown. So the bell landed a clothesline and a belly-to-back suplex.
All right.
Is best for business. I do. I said this weeks ago. I think the plan right now is LA Knight dropping the title to Hayes. Hayes holding the title for a little bit, dropping it to Andrade somewhere next year. I don't know how they drag this out. I mean, if they could get it to WrestleMania, I think that would be great. Andrade and Carmelo Hayes at WrestleMania. One final match between them. And Andrade wins the United States Championship. They obviously have plans for Andrade. They're doing something to rebuild Andrade through this feud with Hayes. I just don't know where it ends and who gets the title. It's got to result in one of these guys winning the title. Otherwise, what the fuck?
Some things are delicious.
God damn it with these goddamn commercials, man. Jeez. I'm very sorry about that. And muted. Don't want to hear these damn commercials. We're like halfway done with this video.
LA Knight does not need the championship. He doesn't. That title needs to go to Hayes. I think Hayes is going to win the United States title.
Yeah.
Waller and Theory, they were walking backstage. They ran into Nick Aldis. Waller asked Aldis for a tag team match between A-Town Down Under, Kevin Owens, and a partner of his choice next week for the season premiere of SmackDown on USA Network. Gee, I wonder who it's going to be. Could it be a certain Viper? Yes, they are counting it. They're counting the wins, but it's not a best. It's not officially a best of 5. They didn't say it was. They didn't say it was a best of 7. They're counting the matches, yeah, but they didn't say it was in this best of 7 series or best of 5 series. They didn't say that. They didn't lay it out that way. Chelsea Green and Meechin.
This is the third reason why we got the fucking man. They get the third on the back.
It's the internet. Maybe Jesse on a Spaces. I don't know, Jesse, if you look. Inside a steel cage for the WWE Championship. And that was basically your SmackDown. Again, not much happened, man, really. And SmackDown doesn't have a lot going on for it when all the big players, all the big guns aren't there, and they're not really telling any captivating stories. We are definitely in this holding pattern. When is that going to break? Hopefully next week. Hopefully next week. We need something. Because right now, they ain't doing it. They ain't doing it at all. Thank you guys for all your... He then went up there, did Ciampa, and suplexed Tonga in Solo, who landed the Samoan Spike twice on Montez for the 1, 2, 3. Bloodline posed in the middle of the ring to end the show because they need the Bloodline to look strong going into next week's show because Solo will be battling Cody Rhodes inside a steel cage for the WWE Championship.
All right.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
On Fox. I prayed for this and it happened. It's true. WWE signed with them many years ago when SmackDown kicked off on Fox back in 2019. And we can go back in time. We can talk about all the moments, the good, the bad, the ugly from this Fox era of SmackDown. It all goes back to the beginning of this era when we had Brock Lesnar squashing Kofi Kingston in the middle of the ring in 8 seconds for the WWE Championship. And I know many of you remember that very well. Maybe not fondly, but I know that you remember where you were that night when we had the championship squash of all squashes. Mark Henry's face in the front row will never leave my brain. His mouth, his jaw just dropped. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. And neither could I. 6 months as WWE champion. Down the drain for Kofi Kingston. He never did get his rematch. You know, and in the age of automatic rematches back then and everything, Kofi Kingston never did get his rematch for the title. But it was an era also of the Thunderdome. When they started on Fox in October of 2019, that was less than 6 months before everything got down due to COVID. And there were no fans in the buildings. The majority of the Smackdown shows were in empty buildings. Until we got the Thunderdome, then we had an empty building with screens, which was better than nothing. But not exactly the most exciting era of SmackDown. It was an era that started Gunther's run as the Intercontinental Champion, which, as we all know, went on for 666 days. It started with a win over Ricochet on SmackDown. But it also gave us the rise of the Bloodline, which has easily been the highlight of this SmackDown show for the last 4 years. And in particular, that you remember those classic segments from that storyline, mainly involving Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was typically in those best Bloodline segments. But even, they have the tribal court with Roman Reigns, Jey Uso separating and Jimmy Uso separating from the Bloodline. There was a lot of really great stuff in there, but it was also an era that gave us King Corbin pouring dog food on Roman Reigns' head, smearing dog food, may as well be dog shit, all over Roman Reigns' face. That was in the early days of the SmackDown on Fox. And it also gave us this. Look at that. Lots and lots of blackouts on SmackDown, right up until the very end, even tonight. Lots and lots of blackouts here on this show. No more constant, random blackouts. That's all the reason I need to be happy that SmackDown is moving on from network television. And this may have been an issue that they were going to have no matter what network they were on, whether it's Fox, whether it's NBC, whether it was ABC or CBS or WTF or STFU or whatever network the show airs on. So I, for one, am happy that there'll be at least a little more leniency bringing the show back to where Raw is and NXT is. Now everything is basically in-house on USA Network. Things should not be nearly as bad as they were here on this show. As far as this show tonight, here we go. There's another one right there. Oh. I showed skin. Every time there's going to be a blackout tonight, you have no idea what's actually going on. Something heinous is going on. Screen gets blacked out. This show tonight sucked. SmackDown sucked tonight. This was a boring episode of SmackDown. This was the very definition of phoned in. Is the best way I would describe this episode of SmackDown tonight. I for one, cannot wait until the season premiere next week when we get things going. And the biggest announcement as it pertains to the season premiere of SmackDown next Friday is that we are getting a WWE Championship match, as we did in 2019 on that very first SmackDown on Fox. They're doing the same thing here on next week's show on USA, but it will be Cody Rhodes defending the title against Solo Sikoa inside a steel cage. That is the match that has been made official for next week. The other thing tonight that stands out to me, after weeks of vignettes touting the impending return, the re-debut of one Giovanni Vinci. Right, we've gotten multiple segments now showing him living a lavish lifestyle, gazing out of his window at his Las Vegas hotel, driving around in his Lamborghini, wearing fancy suits and wearing shades. Giovanni Vinci is coming. Tonight was the night that Giovanni Vinci reemerged on WWE television. It did not go well for Mr. Vinci. It was a head-scratching segment. But hey, it'll get everybody's attention, right? Giovanni Vinci, his goose is cooked. All it took was 1 week. We're going to talk about this show. I'm going to try to make this a little more interesting and exciting than this boring television show tonight. This is the final Smackdown on Fox review for Friday, September 6th, 2024. I am the Solid Monster. Like and subscribe for notifications. Super chats are open, and of course, they are always appreciated. I'm in a good mood, I will tell you. Even though this was a boring fucking show, I am in a good mood because not only did my Mets win tonight, they won with a walk-off home run. They have a record now of 8 straight wins. Can you believe it? The Mets have actually strung together 8 consecutive wins. I mean, it just brings a tear to your eye. So I'm enjoying it as long as it's going to last for. I have no idea. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth here, but I'm in a good mood. For at least one night, I'm in a good mood. So nothing will ruin that mood. Except Fox blacking out my screen. Cody Rhodes, still WWE champion after Bash in Berlin, his win over Kevin Owens. He was out to the ring to open tonight's show. Cody welcomed Michael Cole back to SmackDown, the voice of WWE. Everybody in the building chanted for Michael Cole. Boy, have we come a long way. In these last several years, when we see Michael Cole getting positive receptions from these crowds, just remember the way things were a decade ago, 10, 12, 13, 14 years ago. It wasn't like this. And now Michael Cole getting all of his flowers here from the WWE fans. Cody said that he could go on, but he knew he would get interrupted. So instead, he was going to extend an invitation to the Bloodline to come on out to confront him because he knew that they were going to come out anyway. So right on cue, that brought out Solo Sikoa with Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. Did you see the latest Ace of Steel TikTok video? I love these videos. I don't know what program he uses. It's like these video game animations, but WWE stars in school. And so the new one that I noticed was floating around on social media earlier was the Bloodline 2.0 in high school. And I actually thought it was the weakest of all the ones that he's put out. But the thing that just took me out, it shows the Bloodline walking, and you see Tonga Loa. And Tonga Loa is wearing his WWE Tag Team Championship belt upside down. I just thought, that is perfect. Perfect. A perfect encapsulation of everything that is Tonga Loa. Wearing the belt upside down. So that was the best part of the entire thing.
Hold on.
So the Bloodline members stayed on the outside. Loud chants of "We want Roman," loud enough that Cody had to stop what he was saying and pause for a few seconds. Solo asked Cody if he was ready to defend his title against a real challenger, and he claimed that he had Cody beat at SummerSlam, but Roman Reigns got in the way, and so he deserves a rematch. Cody said that the season premiere of SmackDown is next week. There should be a WWE Championship match. He called him unhinged. Now, we assumed he was referring to Solo as he was saying this. He called him unhinged. He said that he does deserve a title match, but plot twist, he in fact was not referring to Solo Sikoa. He was referring to Jacob Fatu, who was on the outside, of course, honoring his tribal chief. So Cody told Fatu to step up, and the fans chanted "step up," and that's what he did. He stepped up right up on the apron. And then, of course, Fatu, now Solo is turned. He's looking at Jacob like, what are you doing? And Jacob Fatu, of course, "I love you, Solo." He's telling Solo how much he loves him, calls him his tribal chief, and then he climbs down, and the crowd boos. Cody said, well, it was worth a shot. And Solo said that he knew what Cody was trying to do. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get my personal enforcer to turn against me. He accepted Cody's challenge for a match next week, but said we don't have to wait until next week. So the Bloodline got into the ring. They circled Cody for the kill. When Street Profits and DIY showed up, they came out of the crowd. And now they're in the ring. They're standing shoulder to shoulder with Cody Rhodes. Nick Aldis shows up in the ring. I don't know where he came from, but now he's in the ring. He announces that tonight there will be an 8-man tag team match in the main event. It will be the Bloodline against the Street Profits and DIY. And he said that next week, it is official, it will be Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa for the WWE title. But given the Bloodline and what they're prone to do, get involved in all kinds of business, the match next week between Cody and Solo, in an effort basically to prevent the Bloodline from getting involved, will now be a steel cage match. I know. It's ridiculous. The cage does not keep anybody out, but let's just play along. So because of that, it will now be a steel cage match next week, as ridiculous as it is. So that's going to be 2 steel cage matches in less than a week. We have Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page tomorrow night at All Out in a lights out steel cage match. And then next Friday, we've got Cody and Solo. I will bet my entire podcast, I will bet my entire enterprise that the more violent of those 2 cage matches is the one that we are getting in a little over 24 hours. But it's exactly what I pitched. Do the title match next Friday, September 13th, Smackdown season premiere USA Network. Do a championship match on that show, just like they did when they moved the show 5 years ago. You want to come right out of the chute with a big match. You want some big attraction on that show. And if you're not going to have Roman Reigns back in the ring for the first time since WrestleMania and have that as the attraction, which they took away when they did the beatdown angle all those weeks ago, then having Cody defend his title on that show makes all the sense in the world. And it's even better because I have no interest in waiting another month to see Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa Part 2. I don't even care to see it next week, but I'll take it. I'll take it next week. That's still a big match they can do as a TV main event. How often does the WWE title get presented on television?
What do you say, man?
Not very often. So as a television match, I think it's fine. Pretty clear to me they removed Roman Reigns' name from the advertising for the September 13th show because he's going to show up next week. He's going to return. He's going to either cost Solo the match or show up to confront him afterwards and fight him off. That's how I see that playing out next week. But it's the smarter play to do the match on TV. You know, you want to pop a big number. You want to make a big splash on USA. First SmackDown back on USA in I guess over 5 years, right? They go from USA to Fox. I think that was the timeline there. They went from USA Network to Fox when they moved last time. But like I said, I don't have any interest in seeing them do this match. Nor do the fans, by the way, have an interest in seeing them do this match with Bad Blood. You know what the fans do have an interest in seeing? You hear it based on the reaction from the crowd in this segment. It's the same match that I want to see. You got that tease. Cody teasing the possibility that he might defend that title against Jacob Fatu. Clearly, that is the match that the fans were interested in. And that's a match that I'm interested in. I don't know that we're going to get it. But that was very interesting. To hear that reaction, to pitch that match, to tease that match. But what I proposed was that they do the match next week, have Roman return, and you can even shoot a second big angle on the show by having a big heel turn on Cody Rhodes, whether it's Randy Orton or whether it's Kevin Owens. I'm not so sure they're going to do that because Kevin Owens has another match already scheduled for next week, and I think he may be bringing Randy Orton into that with him. But that doesn't mean you can't shoot a major angle next week where Cody Rhodes gets dropped by Kevin Owens or Cody Rhodes gets dropped by an RKO out of nowhere. Because Cody's got to move on to something else after this. He's not getting solo with Bad Blood. Bad Blood is in Atlanta. That's his hometown. He's in those commercials for the show with whoever that is. So, you know, he's got to be on the card. If not in the main event, he's certainly going to be on the show. But who is he going to be defending the title against? Is it going to be Jacob? Or will it be Randy Orton or Kevin major angle to set that up, I say we get it next week. Bro, you throw all these things out there next week and really get people talking, get them excited about SmackDown. There's one thing that's been missing from SmackDown for a while now. I mean, we're talking weeks and weeks, is excitement. This show has fallen off a cliff. I don't know what happened. For a chunk of the year, this was the best show all week. Now it's usually the worst. So they need to pick up the pace here with SmackDown. That would be one way of doing it. You shoot all these big angles next week. You set the stage for Bad Blood and beyond. That's what I'm looking for from the show next week. Shut the fuck up. Shout out to Mr. Jack said that she would be expecting a good show on Monday. A good show to just cleanse my palate after what we got.
All right. Hold on a minute. All in, no 13 days. Solo and rematch. Steven Larson, no DQ. Hold on a second.
To interrupt you right now.
All right.
What is going on, guys? Mark, you're welcome. What is going on, guys? Mark.
Hold on, just had to see something for a minute. Just had to see something for a minute before I can get back into this. Alright. Trying to see something for a minute before I get back into AEW. Don't they show the promo package or something? Jesus Christ, man, I was hoping they showed the goddamn promo package. Okay. Wait, what? Hold on, I'm trying to see something for a minute. Hold on. Hold on a second. Just need to see something for a minute. That was 2 days ago. Don't see no reaction. Alright, hold on.
Smile.
I'm surprised they're not showing the promo packages for all this. I don't know why. Just trying to see something. Okay. Now before I get back to my review on Smackdown, I think I will talk about AEW pretty soon. Hold on. Alright. Alright, you know what? Can't really see that much in here.
Grits, plump and glowy skin. Neutrogena
Hold on.
Collagen Bank SPM, which a daily YouTube to my first ever playthrough.
Hold on. Just checking out some other podcasters and other YouTubers here. I'll get back to my commentary in a minute. There's Good Might Work commentaries. Isn't
for that. Good to see Jenny down back. We got Steven Harris. Then Julie X is here with $2. Surefire bet Roman's back next week. Absolutely, he's back. It's the season premiere, and he was initially advertised as a full. Did you notice that? You haven't seen any Roman advertisements for the 13th edition of Smackdown since that first one, which means he's probably going to show up in that Cody solo. Trying to save him for more of a surprise. You know, I think most fans are going to expect to see him there, whether he's advertised or not. Good to see Janine Lazone and my boy Ronnie. We got the Lego fan in the house as well. George Morris, appreciate the 5 from you. How are you doing, Greg? How is Tito? And happy birthday. How old are you? Will Vince McMahon documentary cover Ring Boy scandal? Be safe. I am great. Tito was great. I'm 47, and Vince McMahon will be the Vince McMahon documentary will be covering the Ring Boy scandal. As a matter of fact, I've got a big update from Brandon Thurston about the Vince McMahon trailer, and there has been an early viewing, and they did break down a little bit what we're going to see. I'm going to read that entire report to you because it's really, really interesting. And I'm feeling a little bit better based on what I read today and what I'm going to talk about later. I'm feeling better about this documentary and its honesty. There's still going to be some problems and whatnot, but in terms of them maybe going easy on Vince McMahon. It doesn't really look like that's the case. They're getting into all of it, and that's good. I was a little bit worried. WWE doesn't have a producer credit or anything on this documentary, like they're pulling the strings or anything like that. This is probably going to be the real deal, and it's going to be interesting when this is airing on a streaming platform that also is the home of WWE's flagship show. It's going to be an interesting next couple of months after that doc drops on the 25th. Thank you for 2 more, Julie. I appreciate the birthday wish. And Joshua Aparicio dropping in a fabulous $10 drop there. Happy birthday, Greg. Hey, I never knew you were wrestling tonight against Apollo Crews. You look jacked. Suck, you lost tonight. You'll get him next time. I know they dusted off the old, Jeff Hardy and Karrion Kross finish. You know, that quick finish with Giovanni Vinci showing up on Smackdown night for his debut. He got beat quickly by Apollo Crews. And when I saw Apollo Crews in the ring, it initially upset me. And I started to tweet my displeasure that WWE is only using Crews. They're bringing him out of catering only for situations like this to get beat by a new guy. And then he wins. I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm sure there will be a return match, and this is an attempt to be some sort of direction creatively that will take, Vinci to great heights. I just don't see. I think a lot of people might be unsure if that's the proper way to start something out, especially when you think about how we left Imperium with Gunther just taking his ass right out of there. Now he's coming back, losing the way he did. I don't know, not maybe the way you want to start things off on your SmackDown career, but we'll have to see. Thank you, Ahmed, for the super chat. Oh my God, it's 3:16 right now in the UK, and I caught your birthday stream. Right on, let's fucking go. My favorite wrestling YouTuber since 2016. Happy birthday, Greg. Thank you very much for that, Ahmed. I'm glad you were able to catch me at such an odd time. Thank you for being here, and I'm glad that you've been with me now for 8 years. That is crazy. David Brown, also happy to see you here as well. Thank you for that. Juliet is gifting out a commentary membership to Jacob A. Right on. We got Jacob hooked up with a membership. Also want to say hello to Leon Gore. We also have Elias in the house. Good to see Victor Colon here. Shell Shock. Danny Huckins. Your birthday is Monday. Happy early birthday to you, man. We've got Stephen Harris. Not sure if I got you yet. And Dave. Dave chiming in with $5 Canadian. Thank you so much for that. Happy birthday. That closing segment on Dynamite was great, but I gotta say I'm laughing at those tribal creeps online that's really trying to hate on it. I don't know how you could possibly hate on it. That shit was just amazing. We're gonna talk about it. And Hangman Page is so good.
Do you want to go back to my podcast, back to my review 3 years ago? Think about where we were 3 years ago. Think about how different we were.
Beer or whatever it was. Oh my God, such good shit, man. On Wednesday night, we'll be talking about that one and what that could mean.
Everybody back will be sick and tired.
Kind of feel like Hangman Page has got to win tomorrow. But how do you win, after you blow somebody's up? How do you lose when somebody blows your house up? But I almost think that the sequence of events that needs to happen is
pay-per-view. Smackdown women just as bad. If women ain't get nice, if women ain't to come back and turn heel and
Swerve takes the title. That's where I feel like it should go. But
Smackdown was saved because of women ways and the blood.
5 more for
And
me.
the
Thanks to Hogan's
ways
asked for
for Heyman,
with
the
Kristen Law
bloodline,
and Logan Paul's
Smackdown would
podcast.
have been
That is in my notes, Juliet.
because the only thing that you can
For sure.
during that
All right, I
pandemic
think that's
was women
knocks
ways.
out the pleasantries for right now. I'm sure there'll be more coming in. We will get back to the
If
super
women
chats
ain't
in
did
just a
that,
little
it's
bit,
just
but we need to start off
if we didn't
with
get the women ways
some
that we
news,
would
some
gotten,
wrestling news.
if
Now,
we would
just to
get the
remind you,
tribal
tomorrow
chief
night,
head
we're
table,
watching All Out
Smackdown
Together.
would have been
Sunday, there will be no classic watch-alongs. Normally we're here on Sundays.
I think the only
Sunday is the
two
day
big
that I'm
feud, the
celebrating
only
my
thing
birthday
people
with my
cared
family,
about
so I will
was
not be
women
here on
ways and
Sunday for
Jacobs.
that. But we will
Sasha
be here
Banks and
again on
Bayley.
Monday. I think I'm going to do another Raw
They
watch
both
along.
can
It's
be
been
spoiled
fun.
like that.
Great time last Monday doing it. So we are bringing
Jacobs,
back the old
Sasha Banks
Monday
and
Night
Bayley.
Raw watch alongs.
Don't
Back in
that
2017,
in 2020.
back in my old apartment. Bringing those back
Well, I don't think
here on the
this year
channel to see how they do. And so far, they've been fun. So we'll be back at it again on Monday. The only thing that will be different this week about the schedule is no watch along on Sunday. So just keep that in mind. In terms of the wrestling news that we have to get into tonight, I think we need to open up with this Vince McMahon Netflix docuseries. Now, we heard last week they finally announced the release date for this. It's going to be on September 25th on Netflix. I believe they are releasing all 6 episodes at once. So this will not be like a weekly thing yesterday, they released the trailer for the documentary. And the trailer was really interesting because it was about 2.5 minutes long. And the way that the trailer was produced felt a lot like, like a WWE produced documentary. And even though in the brief trailer that we saw, they did acknowledge some of the scandals, the steroid stuff, some of the blackout. It's a 1-hour episode. So there's 1 hour each, 6 episodes, 6 hours of Vince McMahon's life. My God. Mr. McMahon, that's the title of the documentary, begins by noting that most interviews in the docuseries were conducted before McMahon's initial resignation, return, WWE's merger into TKO, and the sex trafficking lawsuit filed by Gino Grant, events that took place between 2022 and 2024. In the first episode, in the first episode,
this for 2 months and weeks.
Where'd I go? In the first episode, those events are touched on with brief clips featuring Wall Street Journal reporters Joe Palazzolo and Ted Mann, who broke the stories about multiple non-disclosure agreements and women who worked for WWE and alleged targets of sexual misconduct by McMahon. Those subjects return in the last episode of the series. So it sounds like they jump in and acknowledge all of the shit that's going on with them. And then
What is that? Like the other come on the Iron Second time. Taking
Loud a couple years ago.
3 minutes. You
I
might
don't remember what else. And then I was at
Well,
In the neighborhood,
let's talk about AEW All Out. That happened last night.
Out took place last night in Chicago, just 2 weeks after their Wembley Stadium show. Bad Blood came a month early. This was the real Bad Blood last night. We got a lot more blood than we're going to get in a month, I'll tell you that. This show at times felt more like a snuff film than an actual wrestling show. We had multiple instances of attempted murder. We had blood. We had gore. We had people being suffocated with plastic bags. We had people being stabbed with hypodermic needles. I thought it was an excellent show, though. I mean, definitely more positive than negative. They are remarkably consistent when it comes to the quality of their pay-per-views. You can sit and watch it. Swerve Strickland against Hangman Adam Page. I said coming into the show, even before they announced that it was going to close the show, which made sense because it had the lights out, unsanctioned stipulation day. But I said, this is the real main event. This right here, this story, this feud, this has been building up for almost a full year. And it was last year, full gear. I called it a symphony of violence, what these two went out there and had. Last night was the sequel. It's rare but not impossible, that the sequel could be better than the original. I wouldn't say that. I don't know that it was any more violent than their Texas Death Match. What I would say about this main event last night is that it came as advertised. And Hangman finally wins one, even though Swerve is still up 2 wins to none, because as an unsanctioned match, it does not count towards their win-loss record. I should mention, by the way, those win-loss records have been scrubbed from the AEW roster page. They no longer list people's win-loss records like they've always done. Between that and all the over-the-top violence we saw on this show, I think it's safe to say the sports-based presentation that Tony Khan has talked about in the past is no longer a thing in AEW. But it was disturbing. In a word, that main event. It was disturbing, it was unsettling, and that was the point, given where this feud has gone. Some of the stuff was over the top, like the needle spot, which was not needed. But in a blood feud, you get blood, and when you have someone as unhinged as Hangman is, and someone as sick as Swerve is, you are going to get a match that is sick and twisted and disturbing, and that's exactly what this was. But there were no championships that changed hands on this show. Every champion that defended retained their title. That was not a surprise with really any of the champions. Bryan Danielson just won the AEW World Championship 2 weekends ago. Will Ospreay just won back the international title 2 weekends ago. Did you honestly expect either one of them to drop their belt so soon? It never felt like the Young Bucks titles were in any serious jeopardy. Okada was not dropping his Continental title in a four-way match. And Mercedes was not losing to Hikaru Shida. That was the most disappointing thing on the entire show. That's 2 in a row now where the TBS title match has been the weakest part of the card. They also shot a major angle coming out of the AEW Championship match involving the Blackpool Combat Club. I was wondering where Jon Moxley was going with this new story. Is he even a part of the BCC anymore? Well, we got our answer. The answer is yes. But the BCC is going to look a little bit different going forward because Bryan Danielson was excommunicated from the group. That was the most shocking thing on the entire show. And I will get into it and all the details and where things may be headed here as we go along. One thing I will comment on from the 0-hour pre-show, they had a bunch of matches on the pre-show. They were fine. But the one thing I wanted to talk about here, that there was a segment involving Mariah May. Tony Schiavone brought out Sky Blue for the first time since she broke her ankle on Collision back in July. This being in her hometown of Chicago, they wanted to get her a role on the show. So she came out, she was on crutches. She said that it's just a waiting game as far as when she'll be able to return. I mean, she had surgery for a broken ankle. We're not going to be seeing her back in the ring for a while yet. But Mariah May came out. Earlier in the day, word started to get around that they were going to do a segment where Mariah May was finally, after teasing it the last couple of weeks, she was finally going to have her championship celebration, celebrate her win over Toni Storm at All In. And it was a little odd because why wouldn't you save this for TV? If they're going to do this on the pay-per-view, maybe they have something big planned. Well, all this was the two of them exchanging some very cringeworthy insults about blowing people in the Windy City, and Mariah saying that she is not celebrating here in Chicago. She's not going to have her celebration here in the city. And then she kicked the crutches away from Sky Blue and knocked her down, started raining punches down, and was about to hit her with one of the crutches when Queen Aminata made the save and chased her away. Now, I'm sure will lead to a match. This was a terrible save. First of all, they don't really seem to know what to do with Mariah now that she finally beat Toni and she won the title. But I just thought this segment, the dialogue in this segment, the insults back, this was just awful. I mean, good to see Sky Blue, and I wish her well. And I love Mariah, but I thought this sucked. Now, before we get into the main card here, we're going to play a little drinking game as we go along here. So just keep that in mind. You'll see why. You'll pick up on a certain theme here as we go along. Back and forth they went. Garcia brought MJF to the corner. He wanted an avalanche pile driver, but MJF got out of it. That's important to remember when we get to the end of the match. Why? I don't know why people didn't put more, thought into the idea of, do you really see AEW beating MJF 2 in a row? And maybe they were. Maybe they were going to. I mean, I saw that Ibu from Wrestle Purist said the original finish was going to play. But when the match was over, MJF wanted a handshake. Daniel Garcia initially accepted, which made no sense. Except that MJF tried to kick him low for the second time. Garcia saw it coming and caught his leg. So I guess he was expecting it. He was playing along. And so he kicked MJF low. And then he dragged him to the corner. He spiked him with an avalanche pile driver. So Daniel Garcia did, in the end, finally get his revenge, even though he lost. Now, Ibu from Wrestle Purist, he said the original finish was to have been a clean win for Daniel Garcia. But because he has not signed any deal yet, and they have every reason to believe that he will sign, but he hasn't put pen to paper yet, so they decided to play it safe, and they gave MJF the win instead, even though, again, they fully expect Garcia to stay with AEW. And so do I. But they didn't want to take the chance of having him go over on one of their biggest stars, and then he up and leaves for WWE. And they shot the post-match angle because MJF is apparently going away for a little while to film a movie. It's not ideal at a time when they're already missing Kenny Omega, Jay White, Samoa Joe, and Adam Copeland, among many others. The thing with AEW, though, is for all the names, I mean, I could sit here and list a laundry list of names that are out injured. I didn't mention Will Hobbs, Sky Blue. I mean, there's a bunch of people who were hurt. But they have a very deep bench. You know, their bench is deep enough that Tony Khan should have no problem occupying MJF's spot while he's gone. I wouldn't expect him to be gone for that long anyway. But that's why they shot the angle that they did. The Young Bucks defended the AEW tag team titles against Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. I thought the action was fine. I just could not get into this. This was just slapped together on the go-home show on Wednesday night. And at no point did I ever feel the Bucks belts were in any kind of real jeopardy. Not that I felt that for really any of the title matches on the show, but there's just something about these matches lately with the Bucks as the tag team champions. I just don't care. I just don't. Claudio got almost 20 revolutions on a giant swing on Matt Jackson. Nick flew in with a series of super kicks. Matt went to the top with Yuta. Claudio sprung up with an uppercut with huge.
When things
This is what Swerve created. I mean, this is what he has turned Hangman into. He's turned him into a monster. It just, the needle did not play any.
Now, coming to the stage from
Now this had to be.
WWE, scribe the credit for the
It doesn't have a network account. Exactly. But please scan the QR code, please respond, and we'll be showing the results in real time. But of course, WWE and Netflix is the new modern marriage, right?
Absolutely. And like, so you're primarily on WWE Smackdown, like on Fridays, right? Raw is moving to Netflix in January. Can you take us through like how big a deal is this for WWE?
I think this is the biggest deal of all time, to be honest. But the thing that changes the whole landscape for us is that we've been on linear television for decades now, and we've been the leader in that episodically. So our program is whether it's on a streaming network like Netflix.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
People wonder who I really am. You know, they're thinking I'm a bad guy, but no one really knows me.
The world of professional wrestling
This is me.
is easy to hate. What do you expect?
I don't fight fair.
That's exactly what you're going to get.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to All American Wrestling. My involvement in that business. My vision was to make this mainstream. Welcome to Wrestle.
Created this huge empire, billion-dollar entertainment juggernaut. Did things no one thought were possible. There were so many scandals going on trial for steroids. 90% of wrestlers are on steroids. Another big wrestler is rock, the very foundation of WWE. I don't accept no responsibility whatsoever. None whatsoever. They live this lifestyle.
Breaking Vince McMahon stepping aside.
The lawsuit accusing him of countless depraved and humiliating acts.
I didn't think the lawsuit would shock me, and I was floored.
A lot of that is character. What you show you is what you see.
Yeah.
September September 25th. That's only in a couple of weeks. Okay. Hold on. Alright, now let's talk about AEW. That happened on the show. Need to highlight to the pay-per-view. So where do I'm doing it right? Is that the highlight? Hold on. Alright, I'm just gonna skip ahead. Okay. We have JD from New York. As I was saying, AEW is 3 hours long. Man, that's way too long. I'll report some of it. I'll only show some of my podcasts. Here we go.
Blunts, no sugarcoating, no bullshit creators like myself and a handful of others. They will not call out all the bad things that happens to AEW because they got AEW and their PR department and the roster in their pockets. They'd rather be friends than be real journalists and cover the show with integrity and pride and honesty. When AEW does bad, you don't hear about it from those people. You'll hear about it from me and a handful of others. When AEW does good, I love talking about when AEW does good. I do. I love the company. Whether you believe that or not, don't really give a shit. I love AEW. I think it's great. When AEW is great, they are absolutely spectacular. And tonight was the foundation of what I love to see moving forward. And what I mean by that is the way the show was booked, the way the show was formatted, the way the show was introduced, and the way the show just flowed all through 4 hours of what we saw from 8 p.m. until the show went off the air roughly around 12 midnight Eastern time. AEW All Out 2024 was probably the best flowing AEW show that they've done all year. Sometimes they don't do things that I would like to see them do on a consistent basis. They tend to do their own thing and tend to think that what they do is right. Everybody else's thoughts and opinions and input doesn't really matter. But if you guys video package. There was no pyro. It went right from the pre-show, and everybody getting introduced for that opening trios tag team title ladder match, and it bled right into the show. It's like, I'm sorry, where's the big feel that this is their biggest show of the year? It's Wembley Stadium. It's all in. It's 47,000, 48,000 people, whatever the number was. And they went into the show as
You're the third. You're the
me watching fucking Rampage. I didn't like it. I thought that AEW really dropped the ball as far as overall presentation tonight. I don't know what we said, what someone else said. I don't know if they took me and other people's opinions.
The reason I have to try when I thought you
and said, hey man, we gotta go about this a little bit different with these other guys that are on YouTube and all these other fucking platforms. They may have a point. AEW made this feel like a legit, proper show. We got a pre-show. We got an opening video package highlighting all of the top views for the show. We got a video package at the top when the show actually hit pay-per-view. We got an introduction by Excalibur. We got pyro that went off. We got an opening vignette from MJF, which was the opening match with him and Daniel Garcia. It felt like a proper pay-per-view. It felt like a big deal. It felt like, hey man, I should be watching this. They made it feel important. And then AEW, normally they got 16 fucking matches, and my brain is jello at the end of the night. They did 8 matches on pay-per-view tonight. 8. 8 is a sweet number, man. That's all you need. We don't need any more than 8 matches. You start venturing into the 9-match, 10-match, 11-match, 12-match, and Tony Constante's fucking 16 matches. 16-match territory is way too much, man. You don't need a 2-hour pre-show. I don't have to do it if I don't want. Nothing fucking happens on the pre-show, and if something happens, I'll find out about it on social media. 8 matches. Everything that happened on tonight's show was supposed to be there. We didn't get too much.
First of all,
We didn't
the
get
only
too little.
2 pay-per-views
got everything
that should be longer and should have the most matches is WrestleMania and SummerSlam, and that's it. Those should be those are the only 2 pay-per-views, in my opinion, that should be longer. The other pay-per-views, the filler pay-per-views, the dealer show filler pay-per-view for filler views, for filler reason, for filler views.
Were fantastic.
The pay-per-view should be 3 hours, at least 5 or 6 matches.
And at the same time, while they were building towards those, they had integrated storylines in
WrestleMania
those
and
existing
SummerSlam
storylines that would have played out here tonight at All Out.
and
So not only did AEW have tremendous in their standards, in their world, tremendous build for the top matches at All In, they went about doing All Out this year a lot better than they did last year as well. Because let's be honest, when All In happens, and then we get All Out 2 weeks later, most of the time, as in last year, the entire show was nothing but matches, no story, and no physical emotion whatsoever from the viewer. They were just great wrestling matches, which is fine. That's their basic audience. But this viewer, most of the viewers nowadays that have caught on, we want emotion, we want story, we want a reason to care. When you don't have a reason to care, when you don't have a story, when you don't give me a reason to care about wrestler A and wrestler B, why they're wrestling, what's the story, then the match itself is going to be less than what it really should be. They didn't do that this year. So for everybody saying the show sucked, or All In sucked, AEW does a terrible job. When they do a terrible job, you know it. When they do a good job, most of the time, you won't know it, because when they do a terrible job, it always outweighs the good. The last 2 weeks, I can't say outside Dynamite, which this past week was kind of boring. Outside of what they did for All In and the Aftermath show, outside of that, I thought what AEW's done on these two major pay-per-views was fucking terrific. I can't sit here and shit on anything that they've done outside of the fact that All In started the way that it did. It was amateur hour, the way they started All In. They didn't do that. They didn't make that same mistake tonight. Show flow. Now you see why Tony Khan needs to do 8 matches and not fucking 21 matches on pay-per-view. It just flows better. It's easier to digest as the viewer. Your brain is not overloaded with all this shit happening and trying to cram everything in the fucking 4-hour show that you got, the 4-hour block that you got on pay-per-view. Everything mattered. We went from one match to a video package as to what was happening going into the next match. I physically was able to get up and go to the bathroom and get myself a drink and then come back to my couch, and I didn't feel like I missed anything. See, as a viewer, I appreciate that, man. AEW doesn't really take that into consideration. Most of the time, it's like, one match is over, we go right into the next match. That match is over, we go right into the next match. It's like, got started beautifully. Danny Garcia didn't even make a fucking entrance. Came up from underneath the ring or jumped the barricade in the crowd and jumped MJF from behind. And we got a match that started the way that it needed to. A blood feud that needed to get started in that way. And they did it. And it ended up being one of Danny Garcia's, probably Danny Garcia's best match in his entire AEW career. Love the way they opened the show. 25 minutes of just great pro wrestling. With everybody asking, was Danny Garcia going to win? Is Danny? I'll spread it. This is love. Same thing can be said for Pac. When Pac's in there by himself, Pac is one of the most elite pro wrestlers. Absolutely fantastic work by both guys. And a match that will be talked about at the end of the year and should be in everybody's top 10 when 2024. Everyone on the fucking list, it could have been anybody. It didn't have to be Willow and Chris Statlander. How was anybody going to follow Will Ospreay and Pac? A lot of people were questioning if they had it within them to really deliver a match that was going to get that emotional investment from the crowd. They shut a lot of people up. They executed such a great match that it will probably go down as either 1 or number 2 top women's matches here in North America all year. That's how great it was. Love a woman, especially Bryan Danielson doesn't have bad matches. I will never physically sit here in this chair looking into this camera with you watching me saying anything negative about a Bryan Danielson wrestling match. The fuck is wrong with you, man? I don't think anybody should be out here in content. You can sit there and not like Jack Perry. This is not your company anymore. You guys looked at the scene of the crime. After Bryan Danielson won the championship, he hugged John Moxley. Everything was all good for the Blackpool Combat Club. But then Claudio delivers a European uppercut. Bryan's laying on the floor looking shocked. Like, brother, what are you doing? Wheeler Yuta had to be restrained. They didn't attack Wheeler Yuta, but they let Wheeler Yuta watch. Wheeler Yuta was never a part of the WWE. You do know who it was, right? Bryan, Claudio, Pac, John Moxley, and Marina Shafir. Blackpool Combat Club looking a little bit different nowadays without Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta. But the remaining Blackpool Combat Club members are all ex-WWE stars. All ex-WWE stars that are absolutely doing the bidding of one McMahon, who I firmly believe is coming in. Just a little food for thought there as to why they omitted Yuta. Maybe this is not even the Blackpool Combat Club. Maybe this is a whole new group. But whatever the case may be, The Blackpool Combat Club, for now, is dead. And Wheeler Yuta omitted from the group. Just a little food for thought. Just a little, staple guns, stable. I'm not Jim Cornette.
Alright, might want to stop the video getting late. I made this video long enough. Hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe my channel. I'll be back with more. I will do one Night Wall review tomorrow.